Dragon Ball Super Episode 85 is now officially in the history books, and with the recent events of Android 17 debuting in Dragon Ball Super Episode 86, today, myself and the Daishinkan Emosh are going to be sharing our predictions as to what's going to happen in Dragon Ball Super Episode 86. And before we begin the video, guys, I do want to say, if your opinions differ than ours, go on ahead and leave your thoughts down below as to what you guys believe is going to go down in Dragon Ball Super Episode 86. Emosh, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another discussion. I know you saw episode 85, and I want to talk briefly about that because the events that happened in Dragon Ball Super episode 85 are going to carry over to episode 86. Now, right off the bat, based on what we saw in this episode with Goku having to test out all of the individual members, such as Krillin last week, and now we have Majin Buu this week, what are your overall thoughts briefly on what you saw between Majin Buu and Goku? Because we just spoke about this a little bit off camera. I love the way Majin Buu looks. Like, I feel as if the overall physique that he has fits his image. Even though his face is a little derpy, I think that what he did in this episode with Goku was fantastic, and I think I speak for many that we wanted to see more of that. But what did you think of, like, the gods having to, you know, be such assholes, not just to each other, but like to the overall concept? Because we saw Kai's bickering, we saw the gods bickering, we saw Majin Buu and Goku's engagement. So to sum up episode 85 entirely, what did you think of the Majin Buu fight with Goku, and what did you think of the entire God Summit with the Kais and the Gods of Destructions?
Thanks for the warm welcome. So first off, it's the whole Goku Majin Buu thing was great. It was great. I agree with you when you say that there wasn't enough of it. I did kind of want to see more because it's kind of like this is the second time they're giving Majin Buu the spotlight, right?
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
I think this could have been a better time to show up what he's capable of versus him in this exhibition match, because Basil was no match for him. Like from the minute that match started, Basil was just no match for him.
Buu was just like, yeah, do I want to play? Yeah.
Yeah, so it looks like Buu did get faster. He got a lot faster. He's in his body overall. Yeah, it reminds me of Super Buu. His lengthiness reminds me of like the evil Buu, you know, before he became Super Buu. Overall, it was great to see that physique again.
Especially that attack, like whatever that attack was. You saw that? Like,
yeah, that was
fire.
Good. That was really good. That was like a massive rapid fire, and he was just closely paying attention.
Exactly, he was observing Goku the whole time, and that's what I was just like, wait a minute, Buu's thinking for himself? Like, that's incredible. Right.
But I do want to mention, I just want to say it just to get it out there, that to the people that think or feel like they're just showcasing the Universe 7 fighters, like they're giving them the spotlight, what's actually happening here, in my opinion, maybe you can agree, is that they're actually improving Goku and his capability of fighting in this tournament. This is the second episode in a row where he mentioned someone teaching him a lesson, a valuable lesson.
You're right.
So so this is definitely something to keep an eye out. It's definitely showcasing what the fighters can do, but it's more so telling Goku that, listen, not only did he almost got bested by Krillin, right?
Yeah.
And he's getting bested by Majin Buu as well. And even me, I mean, we've had discussions before where we question Majin Buu's intellectual capabilities as a fighter, right? But that's not the case. He used his long arm technique to push him out, push him out the ring. That's genius. I mean, really.
Now some of you may be wondering, what is Emosh talking about in terms of Goku learning? Well, Goku's learning how to adapt, not just with brute strength, but having to think about being ringed out, because again, it's not about power. Goku does have the power to extinguish Krillin and Majin Buu, but it's not about that. It's about getting ringed out. And just like you just said, Krillin almost got the best of him. Majin Buu, using his lengthiness, pretty much got him out. So in terms of that, you're absolutely right. I think that he is learning here.
It's a tournament with proper rules, just like Krillin mentioned. So
absolutely,
this is something that I feel Goku has forgotten. We talked about it last time. Again, when was the last time we saw any of these fighters in a legitimate tournament with proper rules, right? So this is where the likes of where humans and of the like may shine more, because they're more cunning when it comes to scenarios like this. I will say though, when Majin Buu mentioned, oh, so I can't kill anybody in the tournament, that was hilarious to me. Right off the bat, he was like, oh, I'm gonna eliminate everybody.
Satan was like, Goku's like, you can't do that, bro. You're gonna get
so I can't kill them. He was like, so I can't kill them.
Well, I guess I'll just use this, and he just started unleashing like this flurry.
That was great. Then there's the scene with the whole, the gods bickering. It's really, to me personally, and this is my opinion, so yours may differ, it's kind of disappointing to see them bickering like children, right? Like the way they're portrayed is very like noble and stuff like that, but then when you see them talking, it's like, wow, they're all dicks. And then it kind of makes you look at Beerus and Whis and think, wow, Beerus, even though he's lazy, isn't that bad. Like, he's not that bad of a guy.
Well,
and then
I love how they kind of threw a curveball, because while everyone was bickering as to what they were going to do with Goku, Vados was like, well, you guys got to thank him.
Yeah, she was the one.
Yeah, if it wasn't for him. But I still love how, because keep in mind, this goes back to Beerus as well. The gods are very stubborn. That's how they are naturally. I mean, there's lots of evidence to support that. They don't listen to their angels. I mean, they can care less. But I think that what's noted here is the fact that at least Vados tried. And speaking of being an asshole, that mouse was the biggest asshole among all of them. I'm sorry, like, he was just
yeah, he was.
The way he was just laying there, he was just like, like, I don't care about none of you guys.
And
like, just
laugh,
whatever.
Like his laugh.
And there's like this. I don't know if anyone else noticed. It might just be me. Is that a statue of him made out of cheese?
Yes,
I was just like, what is, like, this is great. So and then Vermouth with all of these like little floating mushroom clouds in the back, and then it's funny because Champa talks about cheating, right? But he's like the architect of cheating. Like, I remember during the Universe 6 tournament, he wanted to pull any card he could just to cheat. So I feel a little differently because, as you said, and this goes back way before, if they were all like goody two shoes and they all agreed with each other, it'd be kind of boring because in a situation they weren't just arguing about Goku. They were arguing about, all right, well, are you gonna cheat? Well, are you gonna cheat? Oh no, I'm not gonna cheat. Like, we got the best, stuff like that. But I think what bested the Gods of Destruction was the Kaioshin, because the Kaioshin made good points in saying, especially like the Moscow Universe Kai, he said, oh well, look at all you muscle heads, like that's all you think about, like you're forgetting that we are the smartest ones. So what did you think of that interaction between the Kais?
I think the one to pay attention to is Kai, Universe 11's Kai. I think he was, at least, it's kind of like what we said, what a lot of the community felt like Kai was going to be the one to actually potentially get everybody on the same page here. And I got to give him credit where it's due, because at least he tried. At least
he tried, yeah.
But much like the Gods of Destruction, the Kais are also very stubborn as well, which is kind of, is interesting.
Yes.
Which is interesting. I mean, we can expect it from the Hakaishin, right? It's not a big deal because of their demeanor. They don't necessarily have the same understanding. I feel like they don't understand, they don't view things the same way like a Kaioshin or an angel would, right? So, but when you see the Kaioshin act like that, it's like, whoa, I thought Ro was the only one like that.
Yeah, that's what I thought too, but that bearded guy was just like, what the fuck?
He's just yeah, bro, look at these muscles, bro.
Look at these muscles, man. But I love how the other Kai was like, it's not about muscles, you asshole. It's like, we're smarter than you.
Yeah, and then they went at it.
Everything that we saw here carries over to the next episode. So, Android 17 is back, but there's one thing that aggravated me. I don't know about you. A lot of you guys did agree with me in my breakdown. Android 17 at the end of the preview was shown to go one-on-one with Super Saiyan Blue Goku. Now, this could be because of one of two reasons. Either A, Goku's trying to explain to him, like, listen, man, these are the type of fighters you're going to be having to go up against next. So you're going to be fighting me one-on-one, but I just want you to know that there are going to be people out there that are going to rival even my power. So maybe he's trying to allow 17 to understand that there are going to be fighters way beyond his own caliber, that maybe he has to get adjusted to that. Or either scenario B, Goku's just, doing the exact same thing with Krillin and just trying to test him out and seeing how far he can go. So what did you think of that? Super Saiyan Blue Goku versus Android 17. And even though towards the end it happened so fast, we saw their, fists collide and we saw like a little bit of a struggle. Do you think it makes sense in terms of power scaling that 17's able to kind of hold his own in a way? I mean, he's gotten stronger, I can't deny that, but come on, man, Super Saiyan Blue, it's being overused just like Super Saiyan 2, don't you think? Yeah,
it's exactly what you're saying. I mean, it goes back to the whole Krillin thing. I mean, you could see,
because with Krillin it made sense. He said, well, I worked with him, now I'm facing him,
because it's really tough to look at it and then complain about it. I mean, all right, I could sit here and complain about it. We could say,
no, we're definitely not complaining, guys. We're actually critiquing the overall scenario here. Criticism.
It's just, but then it's possible because it's Dragon Ball, but at the same time, it's like, well, Krillin just did it, so now can I really argue that 17 did it too? So it's like, I've always put 17 way above Krillin. So for me to see that, I was just like, okay, I'm not, you know what? I'm practically
You're not as upset. I get it.
Yeah. So in that scenario, it's like, okay, I understand.
Okay.
I don't understand. I don't, because it's an actual like full, it's a fist. Like he's coming at you with force. and then it's just like, well, 17's there just blocking it. So I get what they're trying to do. I just feel like maybe it is what it is. I mean, I prefer it to be 17 over Krillin, but at the same time, if they're just trying to showcase how much stronger everybody's gotten, at the same time, they're kind of making Goku look like, well, he may not, be all that, if anything. Some people could say that. So I think at this point, it's really going to come down to what we just talked about before, where Goku is going to learn something every episode from here on out until the Tournament of Power starts, and that's good for him. As far as the power scaling, well, when was the last time it made sense? You know what I'm saying?
Like that's sometimes it really gets under my skin, because it's just like, okay,
no, trust me,
Super Saiyan
me.
Blue is God Key, man. It's comprised with Super Saiyan, and here we got 17 keeping up. And I'm not doubting 17. I personally think that 17 is a much more, I guess, aggressive android than 18 is, and possibly even stronger, so it makes sense. And it's kind of weird that throughout these entire years he's been training or just doing whatever to keep up and at least get stronger. So I want to know, based going into next week, how do you think this is going to go about? Do you see Goku making the approach and saying, hey, remember me, and just they're going to fight off right off the bat? Or because for me, I think the way this is going to go down is, I don't know if you saw the episode spoilers that were just released, but 17 loves animals. He loves, being a park ranger.
I think that's like an homage to Android 16. Potentially
because he cared about life a lot. Yeah,
he was very one with nature, so I think that's an homage to that, if anything. Because
whatever happens next week is going to be, I think, left on a cliffhanger, because episode 87 is, instead of them fighting each other, they're both fighting a common enemy. This spaceship appears, and
aliens,
they're gonna have to combat that. So it's a little weird. But how do you see next week going down? Do you see it happening within a blink of an eye, similar to Majin Buu versus Goku this week, or do you see this kind of getting dragged out a little bit?
I think it's gonna get dragged out, but I think there's gonna be some tension between the two of them, because they never really met before.
Yeah.
And originally, the last time we saw them, it was because, well, 17 was on the hunt for Goku, along with 16, etc. So now it's kind of like them having that match that they never really had. You see what I'm saying? So it only makes, so if now that we covered that we understand that, I guess, in a way, for the sake of them trying to portray some kind of story that, okay, these two fighters never fought, so let's make it big, or let's try to make it meaningful. It's now we could say, okay, maybe that's why he's able to, I don't want to say stand up to Super Saiyan Blue, but at least, block a hit or two from Super Saiyan Blue, if anything. So at that scenario, when you look at it that way, I guess it kind of makes sense to an extent. But at the same time, I do see it getting dragged out a little bit. I do. Right. I got the gist of the spoilers. I couldn't catch everything, but I do know that 17 declines to join him, and then what happens is they fight the common enemy or whatever, and then after that, I guess something after that is going to trigger, potentially for them to spar or something like that, and then 17 may officially want to join. As to how he might join, unless Goku mentions that his sister's joining, that could be a possibility. Right, as of right now, I don't see any other reason as to why he would want to. But because we don't know his story, we don't know what's going on with him. We don't know what he's been up to. We don't know what's going on. We don't know if he holds anything close to him.
This actually reminded me. This reminded me a lot of, I don't know if you remember, back when Goku took Gohan outside to observe nature before the Cell games, and allowed him to understand what life is. So I think very similar to this, because I don't know if you saw the episode preview, but when they were staring at that animal drinking water by the lake and whatever, like they were just both looking at it. So I think that the message will be, hey, the reason why you should join is because everything that you love about life and nature and your family is going to be on the line. I'm not going to tell you why, or like, the nature of the universe being destroyed, but I am going to tell you that whatever you love is going to be jeopardized. Because remember, 18, and it sucks to say this, but there's lots of evidence for 18. 18 was all about the money. Back in Dragon Ball Z, when they first competed before the Majin Buu arc, she was all about the money. Same thing here. What is it, like 10 million, 100 million Zenny? She's in it for the money. So yeah, she's in it for the money. So you can't really doubt her on that. But 17, I think he's going to be in it for the sole reason that he wants to protect nature, animals, because he is a park ranger. So animal and nature.
Right. It goes back to what just before 16 died. Kind of like what he mentioned to Gohan, protect the life that I love. It's not. I don't want to say that's where it's coming from, but it kind of reminds
16, man.
Right, it reminds me of that. When I see that, especially coming from number 17, I feel like, now that once again, we don't know his ideal story, we don't know what's going on with him, but it's safe to say that if he's gone to this extent, to want to become a park ranger, become one with nature, so to speak, and really just get away from everything, right? And just be that lone wolf, you know, riding solo, whatever. It says a lot. It says that he has some kind of realization. It says that now he's not really bound to a specific goal. Now he's, you know, he's just developing on his own, and it's because of that that he strives to become the strongest that he can possibly be in order to actually, you know, maintain that. He doesn't want to have that taken away from him. Remember, he was absorbed by Cell. He doesn't want to have this life taken away from him. All he want, you know, back then he wanted to have fun. He wanted to enjoy himself. Now, years later, he's much more serious, so to speak. He's not, doesn't seem to be that rowdy cowboy that we remember. You see what I'm saying? So it's really cool. I think his character as a whole, even if he didn't speak for like the next 10 episodes and he just stayed quiet and just looked at you, it's like, yeah, 17, you know, like you have that feeling from him. So it's cool. I think it's good. The episode overall was good. There was no real expectations from it. I did want to see more from Boo, but yeah, I mean, and you kind of mentioned it too, the whole thing with Boo, like for example, him getting sleepy. You kind of mentioned like perhaps maybe he might sleep for X amount of time because he has been training nonstop since the Zen exhibition.
And I hope he doesn't get fat, man. I mean, I really like the way he looks, man. Like
he looks great.
He ate a lot. Yo, fuck Jared, bro. Put this dude on Subway. He went on Weight Watchers and everything. He really.
But Hercule is a great trainer. Then it kind of solidifies Hercule.
Hercule was throwing rocks in the air. Like even though it may not seem like much, because it's like, how do you train when you're a being that can fly and do all these things and you're just kicking rocks? You know, it's just it went a long way. I mean, if you guys want to lose weight, follow Majin Buu's and Hercule's reservoir steps just to see how they fight. But I think that personally, I don't agree with 17 having to compete with Super Saiyan Blue. I think that if anything,
no, neither do I. Yeah, I don't think a lot of people do.
If anything, he should fight Goku as a Super Saiyan just to have like that nostalgia of back when Goku was a Super Saiyan during that arc when the androids were around. And then if Goku decides to say, hey, so even though you don't know anything about me, I just want to show you something because this is where you're going to be up against. So boom, he uses that, and 17 can just be like, wow, like this.
I should have killed you when I had the chance, right?
Yeah, like I should have killed. Like wow, I never would have even imagined like for you to reach.
Exactly.
I mean, and you can't even feel that key either, but you can feel the pressure. So I just really hope that this leads to something, and definitely even with Gohan and Piccolo, you know, no more child support on that. No more child support. Piccolo promised that, hey, I'm gonna train this kid until the very day.
Soft body.
Yeah, until the very minute that the Tournament of Power starts. So, what are your expectations on that? Because I'm actually looking forward to that a lot.
So am I. See what they're doing. It's kind of like they're going back to the roots, right? And dodge, dodge, duck, dive, dip, and dodge. If you could dodge a wrench, you could dodge a ball. It's just like that. So, it's good, man. We need it, and we need to see these things just before the tournament starts. The only question is, how long would it be? I mean, how long do you think until the actual tournament starts, for example?
They confirmed 37 hours, so only an hour passed.
Right, but I mean, like, what episode do you actually see?
That's going to be tough because, remember, we stopped at episode 89 for spoilers, and we still have to get Roshi, and then we still have to gather everyone together and then go.
Tien is,
So
exactly.
Maybe I'm calling like 90 maybe. No, not 90 because 90 I can see Roshi in there. So maybe like in the early 90s, which means in the middle of May, which kind of sucks because that tells you that April is just going to be a gathering. And I'll be honest, guys, don't take this the wrong way. This is just my opinion. So don't take this the wrong way, but I still stand by the opening acts of the Goku Black arc is better than the opening acts of this tournament arc, because even while Goku Black wasn't prominently featured during a fight scenario, the mystery as to who he was and what Zamasu's whole plan was still more interesting than everyone having to be gathered together here. But the tension, I think, here is a lot higher because Goku isn't telling the truth. He isn't telling people like, hey, so if you lose, we're pretty much gonna die, and alongside everything you love and care about, which I think he should tell them, but for obvious reasons. I mean, how would you feel if I came to you, Emosh, and I said, Emosh, if you don't help me fight in this tournament, your whole family and this whole world's gonna die? Like, you're gonna be like, what the hell? Who's responsible for that? And you can be like, well, I kind of ordered that to happen. You'd be pissed at me, right?
I mean, well, I'd be upset, but at that point, it becomes like, well, let's not bicker about this now. I mean, because we would be sensible about it. So it's like, I wouldn't want to say, well, okay, well, what's wrong with you for like 4 days straight, and then decide to train, and then it ends up hurting me. But I will say, I'm actually going to disagree with you. I think the tension in the Goku Black arc was actually higher.
Okay.
So I personally feel that way because the minute Goku Black was introduced, the minute we saw his, not even his face, just the, the outline, his shadowy figure, Bulma dying, from then on there on, it's like, oh my god, what is happening? Every week was an oh my god episode. So
it was,
and
even when it was slow,
right. So, but obviously, it's before someone points it out, I'll just say it now. The format was a lot different. It wasn't the same. There was that was the villain, right? So over here we don't really have a villain. We have Goku
being portrayed as
portraying the role as the villain. Exactly. So that's that. It kind of feels like a pay-per-view match. They were all getting ready for this pay-per-view boxing match. When they size each other up and stuff like that. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, brothers. So yeah, so that's what this feels like. It's weird for like Dragon Ball, and then you gotta, and finally we saw the Pride Troopers, like the Beerus looking character does not look like Beerus at all. Finally, not that we see him being animated. Like the way he's moving and stuff, he has that little, Dispo, he has that little tooth in the front.
I'm not too fond of him, man. He's Bison from Street Fighter. I don't know, maybe, I think he's the weakest link, maybe. I might be wrong.
He just seems like the guy who drives the jet plane. Like, he's the guy, he just drives the jet plane.
Yeah, he's like the pilot, but I think he may be the weakest link. It's hard for me to even grasp the idea that they're all equal to Topo. I really doubt that a lot.
I doubt that too. But it had a superhero feel to it.
Definitely. It's like the event. You know what it feels like? The gathering of the Avengers.
Yes. Topo had the suit
Topo's
on.
Like the Hulk, bro. He's just like out there somewhere, yo. No, he is the Hulk. When David Banner left,
he is. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
I was
David
like,
Banner
what
left,
is this?
They was like, yo, we need Hulk. Like, yo, this. I swear to God, this is, or even the Justice League minus the Superman.
Yes, I felt like I was watching. I felt like I was watching a different show. To be honest.
Yeah, I swear to God, I was just like, is this Star Trek? Like they were in the ship. I was like,
yo,
he was,
exactly.
The
Blue Whale ship.
He's Spock. He's sitting in the middle of the sea, Topo, and just talking shit.
Yes,
I enjoyed it because they finally told Dispo about this tournament, but even Dispo said, "Hey."
But I wanted to see Jiren though, bro. Like,
no, I do too. But Dispo said something that really caught my attention, and that's we have to go to the other planets around the cosmos to gather the other Pride Troopers. So
so there's
like more than 4
sections. They have their own sectors and stuff like that. So that's interesting. I think we talked about that like a few videos ago, where we were asking if we only know about 5 Pride Troopers, so are there more? Will they recruit more? And if so, where are they? Stuff like that. So it's good. I mean, we're getting a little confirmation here and there in terms of the Pride Troopers. But I gotta say, I know everybody's itching to find out. We have spoilers for up to 89 episodes and still no information on female Broly. Just feel like I should bring it up.
All right, listen, guys. There was a video put out today talking about how Urine, the girl that was supposed to be showing up in 89, is Broly. That is not confirmed. Please don't believe those videos. Please don't believe anybody that tells you that. I had several people asking that today. If it's not confirmed by a credible source or confirmed by Toei or Herms or, Gojira AF, then it's fake. Because I saw a video today and it talked about, Urine is female Broly showing up at Tien's dojo. No, it is not. Until we get a definitive answer, she is an unknown. We have 2 definitive answers as of tonight, and that's Dispo and Hisaru. That was it. Everyone else is unknown. So just to put that out there. But we're going to be hosting a live stream inside of Emish's, or on Emish's channel. So in case you guys want to go ahead and take your pants off and enjoy us there and talk more Dragon Ball, we're going to be on there. I will link the link to Emish's channel down below. Any final words before we go in terms of 17 and Goku? Because the only thing that irritates me is just the whole Super Saiyan Blue thing. I would have enjoyed it more if it was just Super Saiyan, but they're just...
No, you're right.
I don't know, there's something about, like, keep the God form away. That's something special, dude.
Well, it was.
Apparently, like, Jesus. You know what baffles me? Wait a minute. No, this is what baffles me even more. During the Universe 6 versus Universe 7 tournament, they used Super Saiyan halfway throughout the entire fight until hit.
Yeah.
But now they're using Super Saiyan Blue against, dare I say, scrubs.
Well, no, you're right. But see, this kind of adds more to the whole theory of Goku surpassing his limit and showing us something different.
He's gonna unleash some shit.
But here's why I got to jump on the hate train, right? And that's no, it's expected. Everybody's, come on, guys, you guys know. I can see the comments coming.
And guy, he doesn't hate Dragon Ball. He just critiques it a lot.
I love it. No, I love it. But that's why you asked me to come here. It's just analysis. That's all it is.
Yeah.
So to support what you're saying in terms of things not making sense, and it kind of gets under my skin. It gets under my skin that we have a power level, all right, a classification of power that is God tier. It's not like a natural born God, right? But it's God tier, and it's just being dismissed so easily by allowing it to actually compete with those far less superior to, you know, even comparable, forget superior, like of comparable level, Krillin, 17, basically anybody. He didn't, and he stayed, but with Boo, he stayed in his base form. So it's like, now you gotta question that, right? So now it's like, well, that kind of adds to the whole concept of maybe Goku showing us something different, but which I agree with. If he does that, it's fine, but don't just dismiss Super Saiyan Blue just like that. You know, by making everybody be able to even remotely stand up to it, even if it's for a split second. You guys got to understand something. It's like if you guys follow Naruto, it's like the Shinobi War, where everybody versus Madara. Madara wasn't even trying, but he still one-shotted everybody. You see what I'm saying? So it's kind of like that, where things have to make sense. So it's just an opinion at the end of the day. Obviously, it doesn't matter.
Unless, like you said, he found something really far beyond that, because
I would say that would be a supporting, you know, reason as to why they're doing it this way. But I just gotta disagree with them so nonchalantly just saying, okay, well, Krillin can, you know, I don't want to say stand up to or is stronger than, but if he fights a certain way, he can outperform a Super Saiyan Blue. Or if 17 fights a certain way, right? That's just, you know,
I get it. I mean, I guess he's trying to like put in the factor like, hey, you're fighting guys just like me, so what you gonna do? I get it, but you know, I mean, I get it, but still, he's got to be holding back a lot though, because we've all seen Goku fight in that form before. It's fucking nuts, but I don't, you know, just for the time being, I think he should just use Super Saiyan against them. But at least he's gonna develop some strategy in fighting his friends and not being eliminated like during the actual tournament. But post your comments down below, guys. What are your overall thoughts on the episode? What are your overall predictions for next week's episode? We would love to hear your feedback, guys. Thank you all for watching. As always, if you guys are new to the channel, don't forget to hit that subscribe button on your way out. Don't forget to also leave a like down below if you guys love Dragon Ball. Subscribe to Emosh's channel as well. We're going to be on the live stream right now, so in case you guys want to go ahead and tune into that, go ahead and check it out. Thank you, Emosh, for being here. Thank you all for watching, and we will be seeing you guys in the next video. Take it easy, everybody. Peace.